financial crash.
More hard-earned private property was destroyed.
More hard-earned private property was destroyed.
Then if all of us here were to be destroying it night and day for weeks.
Then if all of us here were to be destroying it for night and day for weeks.
They tell you we are dreamers.
They tell you we are dreamers.
The true dreamers are those who think.
The true dreamers are those who think
Things can go on indefinitely the way they are.
things can go on indefinitely the way that they are.
We are not dreamers. We are the awakening.
We are not dreamers.
We are the awakening.
From a dream which is turning into a nightmare.
From a dream which is turning into a nightmare.
We are not destroying anything.
We are not destroying anything.
We are only witnessing how the system is destroying itself.
We are only witnessing how the system is destroying itself.
We all know the classic scene from cartoons.
We all know the classic scenes from cartoons.
The cat reaches the precipice,
The cart reaches a precipice,
but it goes on walking,
but it goes on walking,
ignoring the fact that there is nothing beneath its ground.
ignoring the fact that there is nothing beneath it.
Only when it looks down and notices it,
Only when it looks down and notices it,
it falls down.
it falls down.
This is what we are doing here.
This is what we are doing here.
We are telling the guys there on Wall Street,
We are telling the guys there on Wall Street,
hey, look down.
hey, look down.
In April
2011,
The Chinese government prohibited
the Chinese government prohibited
on TV, films, and in novels
on TV and films and in novels
all stories that contain alternate reality or time travel.
all stories that contain alternate reality or time travel.
This is a good sign for China.
This is a good sign for China.
Means people still dream about alternatives.
It means if people still dream about alternatives.
So you have to prohibit this dream.
So you have to prohibit this dream.
Here we don't need a prohibition
Here we don't think of prohibition
because the ruling history has even oppressed our capacity to dream.
because the ruling system has even oppressed our capacity to dream.
Look at the movies that we see all the time.
Look at the movies that we see all the time.
It's easy to imagine the end of the world.
It's easy to imagine the end of the world.
An asteroid destroying whole life and so on.
An asteroid
Destroying the whole life and so on.
But you cannot imagine the end of capitalism.
But you cannot imagine the end of capitalism.
So what are we doing here?
So what are we doing here?
Let me tell you a wonderful old joke from communist times.
Let me tell you a wonderful old joke from communist times.
A guy was sent from East Germany to work in Siberia.
A guy was sent from East Germany to work in Siberia.
He knew his mail will be read by censors.
He knew his mail would be read by censors.
So he told his friends,
So he told his friends,
let's establish a code.
let's establish a code.
If a letter you will get from me is written with blue ink,
If a letter you get from me is written in blue ink,
it is true.
it is true.
what I say.
If it is written in red ink,
If it is written in red ink,
it is false.
it is false.
After a month, his friends get the first letter.
After a month, his friends get a first letter.
Everything is in blue.
Everything is in blue.
It says this letter.
It says, this letter,
Everything is wonderful here.
everything is wonderful here.
Stores are full of good food.
Stores are full of good food.
Movie theaters show good films from the West.
Movie theaters show good films from the West.
Apartments are large and luxurious.
Apartments are large and luxurious.
The only thing you cannot buy
The only thing you cannot buy
is red ink.
is red ink.
How we live.
This is how we.
We have all the freedoms we want.
We have all the freedoms we want,
But what we are missing is red ink.
but what we are missing is red ink.
The language to articulate our non-freedom.
The language to articulate our non-freedom.
The way we are taught to speak about freedom.
The way we are taught to speak about freedom.
War on terror and so on.
War and terror and so on.
Falsifies freedom.
Falsifies freedom.
And this is what you are doing here.
And this is what you are doing here.
You are giving all of us red ink.
You are giving all of us red ink. There is a danger.
Don't fall in love with yourself.
Don't fall in love with yourselves.
We have a nice time here.
We have a nice time here.
But remember, carnivals come cheap.
But remember, carnivals come cheap.
What matters is the day after,
What matters is the day after,
when we will have to return to normal lives.
when we will have to return to normal life.
Will there be any changes then?
Will there be any changes then?
I don't want you to remember these days.
I don't want you to remember these days.
You know, like, oh, we were young, it was beautiful.
You know, like, oh, we were young, it was beautiful.
Remember that our basic message is
Remember that our basic message is
we are allowed to think about alternatives.
we are allowed to think about alternatives.
The taboo is broken.
The rule is broken.
We do not live in the best possible world.
We do not live in the best possible way.
But there is a long road ahead.
But there is a long road ahead.
There are truly difficult questions
There are truly difficult questions
that confront us.
that confront us.
We know what we do not want.
We know what we do not want.
But what do we want?
But what do we want?
What social organization can replace capitalism?
What social organization can replace capitalism?
What type of new leaders do we want?
What type of new leaders do we want?
Remember,
Remember,
the problem is not corruption or greed.
the problem is not corruption or greed.
The problem is the system.
The problem is the system.
It pushes you to be corrupt. Beware not only of the enemies,
Beware not only of the enemies,
but also of false friends
but also of false friends
who are already working to dilute this process.
who are already working to dilute this process.
In the same way you get coffee without caffeine,
The same way you get coffee without caffeine,
beer without alcohol,
beer without alcohol,
ice cream without fat.
ice cream without fat.
They will try to make this into a harmless moral protest.
They will try to make this into a harmless moral protest.
A decaffeinated process.
A decaffeinated process.
But the reason we are here
But the reason we are here
is that we have enough of a world
is that we have enough of a world
where to recycle Coke cans
where to recycle Coke